Greetings to all the Christian pastors throughout America, Korea, and the world. It is a great honor to speak at this first anniversary of the World Christian Leadership Conference. I want to offer a very special and a very heartfelt thanks to you, Mother Moon, from myself and my wife, Marion, for your efforts to try to create peace on the Korean Peninsula. They have made tremendous progress, and I'm sure they've made progress at a great personal sacrifice on your part. I was so blessed to be able to attend and address the 2017 Global Rally for the Peaceful Reunification of the Korean Peninsula. And we were in that Seoul Olympic Stadium on a very chilly, windy, cold day in November, and the stadium was packed with over 100,000 people. Mother Moon had asked for the Korean Christians to come out to the stadium to pray because of the power in prayer, to pray for the safety of South Korea from North Korea and the hostilities. And they came, putting their faith on the line during a time when we were literally on the very edge of war between America and North Korea. God certainly heard those prayers. And the dialogue between the two Koreas began about just 40 days after those prayer meetings. And North Korea participated with the world in the Olympics in South Korea. That was a miracle from God. This is why they call you the Mother of Peace. Today, I recognize that I am speaking to spiritual leaders. Therefore, I want to ask you a question. Do you have peace for these troubled times? Not the peace of the world, but do you as a leader have the peace of God? Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give my peace to you." Do you have God's peace as a spiritual leader? You know, there are 4 areas in our lives that have to be controlled by us if we're going to keep the divine peace of God that God imparts to us. Let me give them to you. The first one is your multiple environments. Number 2 is your ego or yourself. And then number 3 would be your enemies. And then lastly, it would be your economics. 4 distinct areas. I put E to start each one. See, the first word I want to speak to you about is focus. Where the focus goes, the power flows. The reason that we have to understand the importance of these first 4 words, environment, ego, self, enemies, and economics, is because they basically tell us what it is we're focusing on or the direction of our focus in life. And whatever you focus on, you empower. That's why I love David in writing the Psalms, because he gives us this whole picture. David doesn't always start the Psalms with praise and thanksgiving, but he's so down to earth, he'll tell you exactly what he's feeling. And he says things like, "How are they increased that trouble me?" I mean, he's upset, he's angry because he's looking at his enemies and they seem to be doing better than he is. And then he stops, changes his focus. "But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me." Once he turns his attention away from the prosperity of his enemies and puts his attention back on God, then the peace of God comes back into his heart. Focus is so important because where your focus goes, the power flows. The next word is the word faith. If you're going to have divine peace and keep that peace, then you have got to get your faith right. Because your faith tells you why you believe something. And it tells you what your belief is in. This becomes it becomes the foundation that in your life to make all your decisions. You have to know what you believe and why you believe it so that you can make your decisions based on what you believe and not based on the circumstances, the situation, or the things that you're facing. You can't get involved into everything that just gives you most prosperity or more prosperity. You have to have some core value beliefs that say, "I'm going to serve God, period." And there's no comma after that. I am going to serve God, period. And I have watched leaders so often who think God's going to do something and he doesn't do it, and then they forsake God because it's not "I'm going to serve God, period." It's based on if he does this or if he does that or if this happens. And the next word I want to give to you is this word future. The first word that I gave you was focus. The second word was you have to have your faith settled. And the third word is future. If you have no tomorrow, if you don't know that you're a child of destiny, a child of purpose, and that you don't have a future in front of you that's not settled in your life, then things that are nothing can get you upset. But when you have a future in focus, and you have faith in where God is taking you, and you realize that you are headed somewhere, then it helps you to become disentangled with all of the things that people are trying to hold on to you with. And that brings me to my last words. You're still not going to be in control of your life as long as you are holding yourself and someone in close proximity to a situation that was beyond your control. One day, you have got to cut the cord on your past and move toward your future and say, I am forgiving this situation, I am forgiving this person so that I can move on with my life. And once again, I want to congratulate you, Mother Moon, for your successful work for peace. This is Bishop Don Meares. God bless.